الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه رسول الله أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. أستغفر الله العظيم. This video is proposing to help the mankind for better understanding of English, not for the bad purposes. I mean that. So this is for my sedekah jariyah, Muslim said that. And we're talking about nouns and clauses. Noun clauses. What is noun and clauses? For example, it's a simple one is subject, predicate, object. So I know his address. Noun clauses, we explain more about his address. I know where he lives. Noun clauses, where he lives. Verbs are often followed by an object, by objects. The object is usually noun clause, as in A. His address is a noun phrase. His address is the object of the verb now. Some verbs can be followed by noun clauses. A noun clause where a subject and verb where he lives is a noun clause. He is the subject of the clause and lives in the verb of the clause. A noun clause can be used in the same way as a noun phrase. Noun phrase, noun clause as the object of a verb. The noun clause where he lives is the object of the verb now. I know where he lives. A noun clause can begin with a question. Terminology. A phrase is a group of related words. A phrase is a group of related words. It does not contain a subject and a verb. That is a phrase. A clause is a group of related words. It contains a subject and a verb. So all the clause must be contains of subject and verb. You can say that sentences. A noun clause is a dependent clause and cannot stand alone as a sentence. It must be connected to an independent clause or main clause. I don't know if he is married. If he is married is a noun clause. Noun clause can begin with if or whether. I know that the word is round. Noun clause. The word is round. That the word is round. Noun clause. A noun clause can begin with that. See 12:4. Noun clause which begin with a question word. Where does he live? I don't know where he lives. When did they live? Do you know when they live? What did she say? Please tell me what she said. Why Tom is absent today? I don't understand why Tom is absent today. I don't understand why Tom is absent today. Why Tom is absent today is noun clause. I don't understand why Tom is absent today. I repeat again, why Tom is absent today is the noun clause. Why Tom is absent today is noun clause. Consists of subject and predicate. Note this in the example question word on order is not used in a noun clause. Incorrect. I know where does he live. It is incorrect. I know where does he live. It is incorrect. Incorrect. I know where does he live. The correct one. I know where he lives. Correct one. I know where he lives. The following question words can be used. The following question words can be used to introduce noun clause. When, where, why, how, who, whom, what, which, whose. So where, when, why, how, who, whom, what, which, whose. So 9 words. Question. Noun clause which begin with if or whether. Is John at home? I don't know if John is at home. Does the bus stop here? I do not know if the bus stops here. Did Alice go to Chicago? I wonder if Alice went to Chicago. I wonder if Alice went to Chicago. I wonder. Batuk dulu. Istirahat dulu dia. Ini kan diskon. Kalau ini bapak boleh buat. Banyak separuh lagi banyak. Tengoklah separuh lagi. Aku pikir nggak berat lagi.
Tunggu. Mau ngambil mangkok. Mau lewat?
Apa lewat?
Nggak mau. Nggak pakai jilbab.
I don't know where. I don't know if John is at home. I don't know. I don't know if John is at home. I don't know if John is at home. I don't know if John is at home. Do you know if the bus stops here? Do you know if the bus stops here? I wonder. I wonder if Alice went to Chicago. When a yes no question is changed to a noun clause, it is used to introduce the clause. I wonder means I want to know. I'm asking myself this question. I don't know if John is at home or not. When it introduces a noun clause, the expression or not because it comes at the end of the clause. I don't know whether John is at home. I don't know whether John is at home or not. I don't know whether or not John is at home. Whether has the same meaning as if or not can come at the end of the noun clause or not can come immediately after whether or not cannot come immediately after if. Not if and whether have the same meaning when they are used to introduce noun clauses. But both of them are used in spoken English and in formal writing. In formal English, whether is usually more appropriate than if. In informal English, if is more common than whether. Noun clauses which begin with that. Noun clauses which begin with that. Noun noun clause which begin with that. I hope that you can come to my party. Mary realize that she should study harder. Mary realized that she should study harder. I dreamed that I was on the top of a mountain. I dreamed that I was on the top of the mountain. A noun clause can be introduced by the word that. In that, Mr. John is a good teacher means a noun clause. It is the object of the verb thing. I think that clauses are frequently used as the object of the verb. That clauses are frequently used as the object of verb which express mental activity. I think that Mr. John is good teacher. I think Mr. John is a good teacher. The word that is often omitted, especially in speaking, if the same common verb followed by assume that, believe that, discover that, dream that, discuss that, hear that. I hope that now that common verb followed by that clauses. Learn that, notice that, predict that, prove that, realize that, suppose that, suspect that, think that the verbs in the above are those which are emphasized in the sentences. It's emphasized in the exercises. Some other common verbs that can be followed that because are agree that, conclude that, decide that, demonstrate that, doubt that, fear that, feel that, figure out that, find out that, forget that, imagine that, indicate that, observe that, presume that, pretend that, read that, recall that, recognize that, regret that, remember that, reveal that, show that, teach that, understand that. I understand that you are good teacher. Substituting so for a that comes in conversational responses. Is Pedro from Mexico? I think so. I think that Pedro is from Mexico. Does Judy live in an apartment? I believe so. Did you pass the test? I hope so. Think, believe, and hope are frequently followed by so in conversational English in response to a yes no question. The alternatives to answering yes, no, or I don't know, I think so. So replace that clause so means that Pedro is from Mexico, I think so. It's all from Egypt. Is Ali from Egypt? Is Ali from Egypt? I don't think so. Is Jack married? I don't believe so. Negative usage of things so and believe so. I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think so. I think so. I think so. Did you fail the test? I hope not. I hope that I didn't fail the test. Negative use of hope is in conversational responses. I hope not. In addition to expression, into expression with think, believe, and hope, the following expression are commonly used in conversational responses. I guess so. I guess not. I suppose so. I suppose not. I'm afraid of. I'm afraid. I'm afraid so. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. Are the use of that clauses? I'm sure that the bus stops here. I'm glad that you are feeling better today. I'm sorry that I missed class yesterday. I was disappointed that Mary couldn't come to my party.
Ada nonton?
That clauses
Gak ada.
by that clauses can follow certain expression with be plus adjective or be plus past participle. The word that can be modified with no change in meaning. I'm sure the bus stopped here. I'm sure the bus stops here. It is true that the world is round. It is a fact that the world is round. Two very common expression followed by that clause are is it true that, is it a fact that, it is a fact that, it is a fact that, it is true that, it is a fact that, it is true that, it is a fact that. Common expression followed by that clauses. Be afraid that, be aware that, be certain that, I'm certain that, I'm convinced that, be disappointed that, be glad that, be happy that, be pleased that, be sorry that, be sure that, be surprised that. It is true that, it is a fact 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 that, it is true that, it is true that, it is true that, it is true that. Be happy that, be happy that, be pleased that, be pleased that, be sorry that, be sure that, be sure, be surprised that. The above list contains expression emphasized in the exercises. Some that are common expression would be that are frequently followed by that clause are be amazing that, be amazed that, be angry that, Be ashamed that, be astounded that, be like, delight that, be able, be fortunate that, be furious that, be horrified that, be lucky that, be positive that, be proud that, be shocked that, be terrified that, be thrilled that, be worried that, be worried that, be positive that. Sometimes be afraid, express fear. I don't want to go near that dog. I'm afraid that it will bite me. Sometimes be afraid, express, or I regret. I'm afraid you have the wrong number. I'm sorry, but I think you have the wrong number. I'm afraid I can come to your party. I'm sorry, but I can come to your party. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can come to your party. That is all for the noun clauses that I can share to you, to us. Alhamdulillah, inshallah. This is useful for us, all of them. Thank you.